Hey guys, it's Chucha 5000. Wanted to give you guys an update here. It's the 680 with the new ags on it, front and rear. I got my cheapo 46-inch plow on it, free plow. We'll see how good this thing works in the winter. This plow's probably gonna suck, but it was free. Took me hardly any time to hook it up, so I'll take it. But I want to show you guys the tires. They look pretty nice. They're D-stones. I don't think there's any really different tread on these. I think it's just either D-stone ags or turfs. And I actually had a hard time trying to find turfs. I found the lined front tires, which is another option. Either those or the ags look fine on this. But yeah, these tires are great. They look good. They might be a little bit smaller than the turfs, or I know they compare these with the Carlisles and the Duros, and there's BKT. There's a few different ag brands. These are the cheaper ones, and I myself don't really find them to be bad. They might be a little undersized. I know people said that they're smaller than they actually should be, but I think what the problem might be is the tread. It tapers down on the ends, and I think that's why they look smaller versus I think the Carlisles. Actually, I think all the other brands, the tread is straight across, so it doesn't really it's not really rounded. But that's kind of what I've noticed. No big deal for me. I don't really care. These tires, I know they work good in the snow. Put some weight in the back. I didn't have chains on my red 782 last year, and that plowed quite a bit of snow. Surprised what it would do. But you got to have that rear weight. That's about the only thing. So oh well. Anyway, that's the tires. I'm going to give you guys an update on my deck here. This is the 44 that came with this deck. I robbed the spindles out of it. This deck is shot. It's only good for parts. Wheels are actually still decent. I could take the wheels off. The anti-scalp is still good. The bolt is still good. I can cut off these brackets for the front and the rears if I need them. But other than that, the rest of the shell is junk. The quick attach pins are good though. So there's only a couple good parts on this deck. You guys can obviously see the problems I'm dealing with here. There's just big holes. I mean, the whole bottom where the spindles mount was gone, and this chute is it's just, there's nothing to really go off of here. It's certainly not as bad as this deck, because this has got a big hole in it, but it's not far behind. The center of this actually isn't bad. You got some pretty good pitting on, but and the top there isn't bad, but that bottom one is gone. Just the entire bottom is gone, and that's actually doing what this one's doing if you look at it, but it's on the opposite side. That's on the chute end, that's rotted off, and that one's on the opposite. If somebody didn't put them patches on it, that would look like this. But them patches are junk. So what I'm doing is, since the spindles were good, I cleaned them up. The aluminum housings were good, so we're going to be putting these in the 38-inch deck, because the 38, the 44, and the 50-inch decks are all the same spindle housings. So and these are aluminum ones. You can see they are aluminum. Well, I guess you can. The problem that happens with these is right here, this shoulder sticks up through the shell, and they just rot right off. These are actually almost perfect. There's only one spot, I think, on all these, or a couple little spots like that, just a little spot there. I think that's it. All the rest of these are nice and clean. All right, there's a top. There's a little bit of chunks going on there, but certainly nothing that horrible. Certainly better than most of them. When I rebuilt the deck on the white and yellow 782, that had the aluminum housings, and that was a 50. One of these, it was corroded right through, and this had nothing left to it, but luckily the seal was still able to seat, and I got lucky on that. I don't remember if that was the bottom or the top. But anyway, when I put these in, I'm going to put some grease right around here. I don't want them to corrode because, like I said, these are getting kind of harder to find, and these ain't cheap. These little housings, aluminum housings. So it's something you got to keep in mind. These are the bearings that come out of them, or this one. These they did. These are Timkins. They're slippery here. These are LM 11949 is the number. You guys want to see that here? Come on. Yeah, well. LM 1949. So LM 11949. I think that's an 11. Yeah. All right. So these are LM 11949 Timken. That's your bearing number. You could just go on eBay or online and find bearings for a 44-inch Cub Cadet deck. They're all the same bearings. The 38, 44, and 50 all take the same bearings, take the same spindles. And that's talking about spindles here. These are the ones that came out of the 38-inch deck. These are non-replaceable bearings on these. These are sealed, and you cannot press these off. I tried pressing this one off in a 20-ton press. Didn't even budge. So this once these go bad, you just throw them away and buy new ones of these. These go for about $80 a piece, and you need 3 unless you have one that's really bad. Just keep them greased, and that'll solve most of your problems. I think you can replace the oil seals on these, or grease seals. They call them oil seals. It looks like this one's actually popping up. You can kind of see that. You might be able to replace those and maybe get a little bit more life out of them, but once the bearings themselves are gone, you're not going to be able to do nothing. So the way to tell the difference, you saw the aluminum ones. They have like some ribs cast in them. These go in here. These go in these big cups, and they're just 2 halves, and they just fit together on top of each other. Let's put this in the vise here. I got another one here that I took apart a little bit. That's basically it. They just 2 halves that fit together, and that's how you just mount it in the mower deck. This goes on top and sticks down. The other ones mount underneath, and you put the bolts up through. So there's your difference on the 2 of them. But yeah, like I said, you cannot replace these bearings. You take this and you just chuck it, put it in your scrap bin, and just buy new ones at 70 to 80 bucks a piece is what I've found for the cheapest. They certainly go for more, and you basically have like 3 options, other than just running the deck till it completely is shot. You could do that. I gotta replace this. I got a new one of them coming. But this is a deck that was on the 1100. I threw it on there. It worked. It was really loud, but it worked. But you can see where the housings were mounted. Like I said, the non-replaceable ones you bolt from the top. You put them on top here and bolt them down through. The aluminum ones you put underneath and put your bolts up through. Or you put your bolts down, either or. And just make sure your bolts don't stick up and hit your pulleys when you go to put them on. But I'll have some more video for you guys when I go to reassemble those housings. I know some people are going to probably want to know how to put them together. Taking them apart isn't a hard part. Putting them together isn't even hard. but I figured I'll show you guys that. So yeah, I just got to get my pulleys all mounted on these shafts and put the nuts on. I got to get these half moon pieces in here. When you guys go to take these out, once you take the blade off, you basically pull the whole shaft right out with the pulley. They just slide right out. You can usually yank them right out. That's what I've noticed. And this is what I had to do to get mine off. I had to torch this one. This one's pretty horrible. This one's not too bad. It's still bent, but these pulleys, and look how rotted these pulleys are. This is like paper thin here. This pulley wasn't that bad, but it was all rotted inside there. And the nut that was in there to hold that double pulley to the shaft was all rotted. There was no way you were ever going to get that nut off. At least this one is big enough in here, and it's not really a problem. But yeah, when you go to put everything together, put some never sees on it, put some grease on it. You can see how rotted this nut is. Even I'm not even sure how I got this one off. But you can actually put one of these on there. These are for the blades. They fit the same thread. But oh well, figured I'd show you guys. Any questions, let me know. And like I said, if you're going to look at a mower deck, or if you want pictures, if it's got these showing on the bottom, you can usually tell with the lines here. These you can at least rebuild if they're not completely corroded away. You got the two races in here. You can pound them out, pound in new ones, put in new bearings. Pretty simple to do. Those are nice. But if it's got these cups on it, if you see this, you cannot rebuild these. And basically you rip them out and you just put new ones in. So it depends. You can rebuild these for cheaper than those when you buy them. But depending if you're going to go genuine parts, you're going to be paying a lot more to rebuild these than those. So it actually might be cheaper just to buy the whole spindle bearing assembly there. But whatever. I'll see you guys in another video when I get to put these back together. You know,